Hello, and welcome to another Ask Us Anything Live with me, Kate R, for Intrepid English. So every Friday, I do a live on a grammar point, vocabulary point, or pronunciation point. Sometimes it's a question that I had from one of our students, or it can be something that I noticed in one of our lessons that was problematic, and I want to share it with all English learners so that you can improve your English. So one thing that came up in my lessons this week was with one of my wonderful students, and she will recognize herself when I say this, is we talked about how there are words in English that are spelled exactly the same, but are pronounced differently and have different meanings. We were talking about desert, the sandy place like the Sahara, and dessert, which is what you eat at the end of the meal, the sweet part of the meal. And I suddenly thought that that is true why English is so hard for so many people. So I want you to listen to these sentences and see what I mean about the verbs and the nouns being spelt exactly the same, but with different pronunciations and therefore different meanings. For example, the bandage was wound around the wound. Number 2, he could lead if he could get the lead out. Number 3, the soldier deserted his the soldier decided to desert after his tasty dessert in the desert. Okay, number 4, since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to present his present to his girlfriend. Number 5, when shot at, the dove dove straight into the bushes. Number 6, no, I'm going to stop there and look at those 5 sentences. And next week, we will do another 5 sentences. So that is why English is so hard, because these 5 sentences, and I will go into more depth, they have words that are spelt exactly the same, but they have different pronunciations, and how you pronounce them tells you if it's a verb or a noun. And therefore, you can then understand what the meaning is. So let's look at them more closely. So number 1 sentence, the bandage was wound around the wound. Okay, so was wound is the past of the verb to wind something around something. And wound is the noun that it means an injury. Okay, sentence number 2. He could lead if he could get the lead out. So the first one, lead, is the verb to lead, which means to guide someone or something in a certain direction. Then we have the lead. Lead is the noun, and it's the metal that is often found in piping to protect from radiation. It's also in a pencil. It's the narrow part inside the middle that you write with. That's lead. Number 3, the soldier decided to desert after his tasty dessert in the desert. Okay, so to desert is to abandon someone or something. For example, he deserted the army. He deserted his family. Then we have his tasty dessert. So that's a noun. It's got 2 S's this time. It's the only one with 2 S's. And it's the tasty part, the sweet part, or at the end of a meal. And then we've also got in the desert, desert. Now, that is the sand part. So it's like the Sahara or the Gobi Desert. It's a huge area of sand. That's a desert. Okay. Number 4, we've got, since there was no time like the present, he decided to present his present to his girlfriend. So we have no time like the present. So the present, it's the noun. It's the time period around now. Then we've got to present. That's to give someone something. And then we've got the noun a present, which is a gift that you give somebody. Okay. Sentence number 5. The dove dove straight into the bushes. So the dove, a noun, is a bird, a type of bird. It's a white bird, like a pigeon, but all white. And it's normally the symbol of peace. Okay, then we've got dove. Now that is the past of to dive, and that's to jump headfirst into something. So we dive into a swimming pool. Okay, so it's tricky, but just just to remind you, so it's wound is the past of to wind, so that's the past verb, compared to the injury, which is wound. And then we've got to lead versus the middle of the noun with the middle of the pencil, led. Then we've got to desert, so to abandon. Dessert, your noun, it's the tasty, sweet part at the end of the meal. And desert is the sandy region. Okay, then we've also got to no time present, so it's past, present, future. To present, so the stress is at the end, that's to show something, to give someone something, or to present something. It's, you know, to show something, demonstrate something. And also then the gift, the noun, is present. Okay, then we also had dove, that's the bird, and dove, which is the past of dive. So next week, I'm going to give you 5 more sentences where there are verbs and nouns that are spelt exactly the same, but the pronunciation is different, and therefore the meaning is different. And that's how you know if it's a verb or a noun, and also from the context of the sentence. So I hope this is useful. And if you like these videos, please click the subscribe button so you get notified when I'm coming on live. And you could also subscribe to our channel, because there is so much material and videos and useful information and exercise. And there's so much for you to do to learn English with us, all on our channel. Of course, if you want a more personalized approach, you can, of course, contact us to book a trial lesson, and so we can really find and really help you improve your English. But I hope you enjoy our videos anyway. In the meantime, I hope you have a great weekend, and see you next week.